So listen, man, we spent a lot of time talking about AEW. We do need to talk about what's been going on with WWE. It looks like SummerSlam is coming together. We've got Solo Sikoa officially challenging Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE title. Rhea Ripley is back and challenging Liv Morgan for the title that Rhea had vacated. What do you think so far of this whole Rhea, Liv, Dominic Judgment Day storyline? This has to be right up your alley.
It is. From a storytelling perspective, it's again, well done. They're paying attention to the details of the story, meaning the elements that are required to advance the story when you want it advanced. It's the story is being structured in a way that gives the maximum control of the audience's response. And that's what you hope for. When you can control their emotions and all the way up until the point where there's going to be a climax to the story, an ending to it, or the next big step, whatever. Attention to detail is what's making it work. And the performance. This is Dom's been here before. This, love affair thing or ambiguous relationship thing it's a very comfortable zone for him to play in. And this is just taking it to the next level. So it's great for Dom. Everybody's winning out of this. Who's not benefiting from these stories? First with Dom and Rhea, and now Liv. Come on, everybody's winning here. So how do you not admire that story? In terms of me sitting down as a fan and, what am I interested in seeing? This probably wouldn't be one of my top things. But as a producer, it would be near, if not at the very top right now, because it's just good story and character work.
Is Rhea Ripley the biggest upside female star in wrestling right now, do you think?
In my opinion, she is.
I don't even think it's close. I saw that they allowed some WWE superstars to be a part of the Call of Duty game. It came out this week where you could have Cody Rhodes or Rhea Ripley or even Rey Mysterio inside the game. And just her character, her wrestling character inside the game, it looks like she's out of the Terminator. It's unbelievable the presence and presentation that she's got, and that she's so freaking young, Eric. We're talking about a really young person here who is seemingly the light bulb has clicked for them in a big way. She's only 27 years old. I got to think she's got the biggest upside of maybe any lady out there right now.
She's magic. And here's what I know of her. Very, very limited contact with her. But about a year ago or so, I was contacted by a friend. I'm not going to drop his name. He's a big actor, very well-known actor. And said, hey, I've got a relative, big fan of Rhea Ripley. Any chance you could set up a phone call? Sure. It's not typically something that I do because I know how much work goes on the other side of that, whether you're the talent or the person coordinating it. And it's just one more thing that you got to worry about and try to manage. So I very rarely, if ever, ask these favors. But I did, and no problem. Got all the assistance I needed, and I put the young man on the phone with Rhea, and I was part of the initial setup of it and introducing them to each other. And I just listened for a few moments. She is the sweetest person. She is that little glimpse. Now, granted, I don't know, maybe there's a whole nother side to her. I don't know. But the part I was exposed to briefly, however briefly, because you can tell, I can tell usually, I can feel sincerity. I can feel somebody who's grateful for an opportunity to talk to a fan versus someone who's doing it because they were asked to. There's a difference. And in the first 45 seconds of me just listening to them opening up, I was so grateful to her. And it really, to me, spoke to the character. I know it's a micro glimpse, but I choose to believe that little glimpse of what I was exposed to helps define who this young woman is, because if I'm even close to being right, she's going to be a star, a woman's star in a magnitude that we have not seen yet. It may take 5 years. It may take 3. Well, it could happen next week. I don't know, but it'll happen for her because she's amazingly talented. She's got a great look, and I truly believe at her core, she's a really, really sweet person. That's going to work. That's just, it's inevitable. You can't even fight that.
Not only does she understand how to tell stories in the ring, and she's a great in-ring performer, but she's got this look that's sort of out of this world, and it's different than what we've seen. I mean, there you see, that's a clip of the video game, Eric, and it just looks like, oh, well, that's her real character. Oh, wait, but look, there's shit on fire in the background, and she's got a giant machine gun in her left hand. Somehow,
and in her next major feature film,
right? I'm just saying, like, the camera loves her is a phrase we used to hear all the time, and that seems to apply to Rhea. But what's really cool is how relatable she seems to be. Allegedly, right before WrestleMania, the biggest night of her life, she had a panic attack. And that happens a lot, but usually people play it close to the vest. For her to be open and to share that even when you're at the tippy top of your game, you still get in your own head and second guess yourself. Dude, what a relatable star. She's going to be box office for the WWE for a long time. Let's keep it moving here. Let's talk a little bit about Damian Priest. He's going to be defending the world title against Gunther. And a lot of people are wondering, hey, what about Seth Rollins? Hey, what about Drew McIntyre? Hey, what about CM Punk? I, for one, am looking forward to this. It feels like Gunther has been a made man for quite a while. Damian Priest has certainly established himself as a bona fide main eventer. But I hope this is the crowning of Gunther. I loved him as Intercontinental Champion. Would love to see what he would do with the new big gold belt. What do you think of this pairing at SummerSlam?
Measuring my words here, just to be so I'm clear, I have enjoyed watching Damian Priest. I've enjoyed watching his rise. And that's the fan part of me and also the producer part of me. I love to see guys that you don't necessarily pay much attention to at some point, maybe for the last year or two, and all of a sudden you start seeing these little hints that maybe there's something better in the future for them. I love following that. And sometimes it happens and, your instincts are validated and sometimes it doesn't. Why didn't they do that? Why don't they listen to me? But I've enjoyed watching him. I have to be honest though, his match with Seth left me ambivalent.
The botch finish, you mean?
It wasn't even the botch finish. I had checked out of that match because I was watching it and I made notes because I knew we were going to talk about it. I mentally checked out of that match 4 minutes after it started. It was slow. It was awkward. I didn't believe Damian. I didn't believe him. I didn't feel like he was 100% invested in what he was doing. That could have been nerves. It could have been because he was thinking through it. There could have been changes in the layout of the match minutes before they went out. There could have been a million reasons for it. Nonetheless, when I was watching it, I went, ew, this is not good. And I'm hoping that we'll see another side of him in this match. So that's one feeling. The other feeling is I'm like you, man. I want Gunther. I just want him to. I want it for him. That's the sweet spot. You hear golfers talking about the sweet spot. The minute you make contact with that ball, you just freaking know. Or a batter who makes contact with the ball, they can feel it in the marrow of their bones. They know it's going out of the park. That's an awesome feeling, and I want that for Gunther. And as a promoter, man, that's what you pray for. That's what you work for. It's when you know someone's really over, when the audience wants it for them, Cody Rhodes, which we're going to talk about. The audience wants it for them almost as much as they do. It's hard to get there, but yeah. I hope I hope Gunther gets it. And I hope Damian has a great match and allows me to put the one I saw last kind of in a background similar to what I did with Mercedes in her beginning at AEW. Just give me something so good that I forget about what I didn't like last time. That's a great way to say it. Hey, you guys quoting me and twisting and turning my shit, copy that down and write it.
SaveWithConrad.com.
I'm Nick Castillo from Waterville, Ohio. I've listened to several of his podcasts for a few years and have always heard the ads for Save with Conrad. And my wife and I were looking to refinance, and we had looked into a couple different options. And then I had remembered one of the ads and contacted you guys, and here we are. We had some debt that we accumulated, and we wanted to pay it down, get everything in under a much better, more manageable APR. So smooth. I've never had anything finance go that easy. We got a chance to work with Francis and Larry. They made everything comfortable. They were very personable. They were on top of everything. They made sure we were on top of everything. They were with us every step of the way, kind of guiding us. So like I said, I've never had an experience that went that smooth. Right off the bat, we saved at least $250 a month. Within a couple of months, we'll probably be at the 400 to 500 mark a month. I'm Nick Castillo from Waterville, Ohio, and I've saved over $400 a month with SaveWithConrad.com.
NMLS number 32416, Equal Housing Lender, SaveWithConrad.com.